Friday, September 15th, 10 o'clock Mountain Time, 2017. New track updated by the National Hurricane Center for Hurricane Jose. Moving to the right just a little bit, at least the center of rotation. The cone still has New Jersey, New York, Boston, parts of New Hampshire, the upper Northeast in general will be involved in this storm, and I'll show you why here in just a minute. But here's another forecasted track. It's been updated. Got the center of rotation staying offshore. But again, I don't think that's really going to matter too much. There's still going to be a large storm up there. Here's something that's very interesting. It's got Jose coming up into the northeast and then drifting to the right and coming back down into the Atlantic, the center of the Atlantic. And then from there, it's anybody's guess. It could go right, it could go left, back into the United States again. But I'll show you something that's very interesting because it could have a close encounter with yet another hurricane, a very strong hurricane at that. But do you guys remember Superstorm Sandy of 2012? Of course you do. Look at the structure of this thing. It was enormous. The hurricane expert today on the Weather Channel kept talking about when Jose gets up close to the cooler waters that mainly begin around the coast of, or off the shore of New Jersey. He expects this storm, and actually a little bit before, to start growing exponentially. And not necessarily in category strength, staying in category 1, but getting large in size. And he was talking about the structure of the storm and the wind field becoming huge. And it reminded me of Sandy of 2012. That's what it did. They named it a superstorm. Watch what this thing is predicted to do. This is Jose right here. And we are on the 17th. I'm going to step it forward to the 18th. Watch what this thing does. Watch its structure, its shape. Here's the 18th. Look at that. Looks a lot like Sandy from 2012. There you go. You know, hopefully it won't be as devastating as Sandy was, but you can see that structure that man was talking about when it reaches or gets closer to the cooler waters up there, because right now it's in 80, 82 degree water, and then it's going to go into 70 degree or 72 degree water, which you would think, wow, this thing's going to just totally fall apart, which he says it's going to just balloon up in size, and according to this, that's what it does. And that's on the 18th. At 8 o'clock at night. So if it does make any type of a landfall scenario, it will be starting actually at 2 a.m. on Monday, the 18th. And then you can see it growing and becoming huge by 11 a.m. 2 p.m. Look at that. That enormous structure. And that contains a wind field that will stretch clear up into Maine and quite possibly into southern Canada. Very big storms. Storms like that, they typically call, if they don't start out as hurricanes, nor'easters. That would classify as a nor'beaster. That would be a very big storm. And something else that I want to share with you guys. Here's another comparison. Jose with Superstorm Sandy. They do look a lot alike. Or will, I should say. That's what it's forecasted to look like on the 18th. We'll see. That's always subject to change. I want to talk about the buoys real quick out here by Jose right now out in the Atlantic. And I checked a buoy earlier and I got a wave height. Now they've taken the waves off of these things. Those are kind of important. No, now they put it back on. Okay, I was going to say it came off for a while. It was 19 foot. Now it's 15 foot with a 10-second dominant wave period. Before it was 19 foot with a 9-second. So it has changed a little bit. So watch the waves. That guy today kept talking a lot about waves, riptides affecting the entire East Coast. And you got to keep in mind, this is just a Category 1. But he kept going over and over and over about the coastal effects of this thing, the riptides, the dangerous riptides. I'm like, what? This thing's only a Category 1. So I did check the waves earlier. They've gone down. I can show you. They were 19 earlier. That's wind speed. There you go. Wave height. 19. So they've dropped by a few feet. But it's supposed to strengthen tonight and tomorrow. That was some of the steepness of those waves. The steeper waves are the more dangerous ones. So just something to watch. We'll keep an eye on it along the way. I did with Hurricane Sandy. And these two buoys right here were 34 and 30, actually 30 and 34 foot when Sandy got up in here back in 2012. I watched it the entire way. Those two buoys right there were 30 footers. So we'll have to wait and see. It's getting close. Time will tell, but this thing is supposed to come up here and turn around and possibly come back having a rendezvous with Hurricane Lee. This is Lee right here that's going to form, according to this, quite rapidly. And you can see for yourself. Here's Jose and then Lee coming up right into Santo Domingo, right over the island on the 22nd. Re-strengthening just east of the Bahamas on the 24th. And there's Jose again. And there's this storm. So we'll have to wait and see what they do, if anything. But right now, that's how it stands. Thanks for watching, guys, and be safe out there.